Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank you for coming to the launch of the Diva of the 1989 Toronto International Auto Show. Maybe we can have the grand unveiling here for those of you who haven't seen it. More.
Okay, take its top off.
And now we'll roll back the roof to show you it is truly a four-door convertible. Technical difficulty. Okay. And now I'm going to give a speech. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the newest launch of the oldest car design available in Canada. As you know, most of the cars upstairs, for those of you who have been upstairs, they were first launched in their own countries, and this is no exception. This was launched at the Paris Auto Show of 1948. You might have perused some of the cars upstairs and seen the newest in horsepowers, aerodynamic styling, fold-away headlights, voice-actuated gadgets that make up the exhibition of our neighbors upstairs. In addition, they might have informed you of their multi-million-dollar marketing budgets, and they might have even offered you trips to exotic locations to test drive their cars. As you might have guessed, here at Escargot Motor Cars, we are a little bit different than that. You are now drinking about 45% of our yearly sales and marketing budget. And as a matter of fact, BMW is paying more to just clean their cars at this show than our entire yearly marketing efforts. So I hope you'll all write lots of stories for us. We do, however, pay for trips. And you can see my brother, Greg Long, over there for refunds on subway tokens. Okay, enough with that. Now for the real part of it. I stand here proud to launch the car with the lowest amount of horsepower of any car at this show. At 29 horsepower, this car has what Graffiti magazine calls soothing low power. And it is soothing. This is a car, or should I say motor car, that returns to the values of the 40s and 50s. And that is that a car should be fun. It should be friendly, but most of all, the car should be a good friend. And that's the reason most 2CV owners name their cars. My first one was Beluga, my second one was Monique, my current one, which you can see just parked right across the street there, is called Scoop. The 2CV is a motor car that's defined by what it does not have, rather than what it does have. So I want to tell you about that. It doesn't have a radiator, it doesn't have a water pump, and it doesn't have any water hoses of any kind. So it doesn't freeze up in the winter, and it doesn't boil over in the summer. There's almost nothing to go wrong. It's so simple and reliable, it doesn't have a head gasket. It doesn't have a fan belt. It doesn't have a distributor. There's no complicated gear shift linkage. It doesn't have power brakes. It doesn't have power steering. And it doesn't have active suspension. Get this straight. It doesn't have power seats. It does not have power mirrors. It does not have power longboard support. It doesn't have power door locks. It doesn't have power wind-up windows. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even have wind-up windows. Let me show you here. See? See? It doesn't have... I'll tell you what else it doesn't have. It doesn't have pop-up headlights. It doesn't have turbo boost on the engine. It doesn't have cruise control. It doesn't have an electric clock. It doesn't have little voices that say, your door is ajar. And it doesn't have computers of any kind, not even very small ones. You know why it doesn't have any of these things?
Why is that?
Because it doesn't need them. To quote Jim Kenzie, where are you? Somewhere over here. It's nimble, easy to park, quick enough, comfortable, roomy, and chic. It's tough, it's simple, and it's elegant beyond all imagination. And Dan Proudfoot, of the Toronto Star writes, "Son, sorry, I'm in big trouble now. I gotta follow my notes here. Let me start that again." Dan Proudfoot of the Toronto Sun mentions, "The seats are more comfortable than a brand new Lincoln Continental."
Did I say that? You said that.
To understand the joie de vivre, or the spirit of the deux chevaux, is to see what it does come with. Seats that remove the picnic. See down there? Usually goes in here. A custom fitted picnic basket. There it is, folks. Custom fitted with the name of the car right on the front. Which it comes with champagne glasses, which you can see down over there right now. A bottle of French champagne. Baguettes. There's longer ones back there. And, of course, a can of Escargot. What else? Somewhere down deep in there. As you can see, the deux chevaux knows what are the important things in life. The deux chevaux poses the question, do I need power door locks? When the driver can reach all the doors just by moving his hand like this. It poses the question, do I need more than 29 horsepower? When the deux chevaux can travel the legal speed limit on every road in Canada, and then some. The then some depends on which way the wind's blowing. The deux chevaux transforms the essence of automobile to encompass the realm of art. The deux chevaux is rolling art. And I'll turn the page. When we look to the architecture of Mies van der Rohe or Le Corbusier, we see an era, an epoch. When we look to the lines of the deux chevaux, we see the same care and attention to detail. The Bauhausian curve of the rear door line. The front fender, believe it or not, this is true. The front fender which completely lacks tension of line. This is the very essence of what is a motor car. The deux chevaux is a motor car which brings back the pure, vicarious pleasure of driving. As Gary Michael Dalt described it in Canadian Art, by the time you have driven 10 kilometers, you have rediscovered transportation, the feeling of mechanized motion, the sense of moving over the earth in a machine. He goes on to write, the car is slow, high, and full of light. You want ventilation, you push aside a metal panel through which wind can blow. You want sun, you peel back the roof like a banana. This is the way driving should be. Dan Proudfoot of the Toronto Sun wrote, what counts is the way you cannot stay in a bad mood, because so many people are pointing and smiling and yelling, neat car. This is a car that enables civility to become a modus operandi. Toronto taxi cab drivers actually let you in front of them. When you drive down the 401, people go like this instead of like this. People just love this car. And it was for this reason my brother and I decided to import them to Canada. I've driven a deux chevaux since I was 17 years old, a couple years ago. And I got little notes tucked behind my windshield wipers here. I love this car. Where can I get one? So we decided to import a few so that some people could enjoy it the same pleasure that we've had for years. I'll have some more wine here. We can only import a very, it's pretty dangerous there. We can only import a very limited number, not quite that limited, but somewhat limited, so they will continue to be much more exclusive than a Ferrari. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like at this time to officially present the diva of the 1989 Toronto International Auto Show, the deux chevaux. And for those of you that have some wine, I'd like to propose a toast that she be with us for another 40 years. If you have any questions, you can direct them to the president of Escargot Motor Cars, Greg Long, which happens to be my brother, the vice president of public relations, Helena Mitchell, which happens to be my wife, the vice president wine services, Marge Long, which happens to be my mother, and the chief wine steward, Bill Long, which happens to be my father.